Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Brooke-Sidney. I talk all about mindset and manifestation to help you reprogram your mind so that you can make miracles manifest. Today, I am bringing you some powerful tips to help you manifest more money. Money has actually been one of my more recent accomplishments where I've been able to keep manifesting more money, more opportunities for money, more work gigs. As when I was working for myself, I started manifesting more and more clients, which in the end brought in more and more money. So I wanted to share some of the biggest manifestation tips that I have for money. But before we get into it, I just wanted to remind you that there are two ways that you can work with me. Both of those ways are listed below, as well as two communities perfectly free for you to join and connect with like-minded individuals who are also on this manifestation and personal development journey. So often I feel like I am talking about manifesting love and manifesting jobs and relationships and all these things. But one of my favorite things that I have learned how to do over time has been to manifest money and manifest business because I work for myself. And so I wanted to get on today and start sharing some of these manifestation tips so that you can start not only feeling more abundant, but being more abundant. So I just want to say the first thing off the gate is that you need to develop, as you all know, a self-concept where you have the money that you want, a self-concept where you feel abundant, a self-concept where money comes to you easily, a self-concept where you are comfortable with money, that you have a good relationship with money. I can honestly say for a period of time, I think that I was very avoidant around money, even though I never was in a situation I can honestly say where I really couldn't pay bills and so forth. I always wanted more. I came from an environment in a family where we had more. And so after being in college and going to grad school and law school and so forth, I always felt like I was never amounting up money-wise. And I have entrepreneur dreams. I am an entrepreneur. I work for myself. I have 3 businesses. And so naturally, that is a big goal. That's a big thing to kind of put your mind around, if I'm honest. And even some days I wake up and said, who told me I could do that? But over time, I developed the self-concept of an abundant entrepreneur. I developed the self-concept of a person who is going to go out and get contracts and get business and get clients that enabled me to live on my own and pay for my life and, support myself and my son. And so although I'm telling you, sometimes I look back now and think, wow, who told me I can do that? I slowly built up the self-concept of being an entrepreneur, of being a business owner, and then even switching more recently from being a person who works in my business to being a CEO that works on the business and taking myself out of a lot of the day-to-day things. But again, this is a self-concept thing. So you always want to work from the inner. You always want to work on becoming that person. So if you think you're a person that makes 6 figures, spell out what those 6 figures are. I'm going to get to that in the next one, but make sure that you feel like you are the person that makes and controls and has and receives and manages that number that's in your mind. That's really, really important because you are not going to be able to manifest and keep money that you don't believe that you deserve and is not consistent with who you are at the core, who you are becoming, your dominant state, and your natural assumptions. It's so important that you take on a new self-concept in this area and release any beliefs that are around scarcity, lack, not having. So that's really important. I want to get it out of the way. The other thing that I've noticed in manifesting money is that the details are important. A lot of times people will say, I want to manifest six figures. There's a real big difference between $100,000 and $999,000 and so forth. There's a big difference in those numbers. There's a big difference in the self-concept and the person who makes $100,000 versus the person who almost makes $100,000 a month. Are you following me, right? Because $1 million is $83,000 a month. And so I noticed that when I was very specific with the numbers. And this is from years past when I would pray and focus on a certain number that I wanted. When I was not an entrepreneur and I was back getting jobs, I would get the job, getting paid the amount, even with all the negotiations on salaries. You need to be negotiating. That's another whole conversation. But I would always end up with the amount that I had written down and decided I wanted for myself. So aim higher. You are your own glass ceiling. You are your own limiting beliefs here. But it is very important to manifest money is that you have a specific amount. The second thing that I think is important, or maybe this is the third thing, because I'm counting the self-concept as the first one. So the third thing is that you need to tell the money where it's going to go. A lot of times people will be like, I just want to manifest an extra $1,000 a month. For what? If you've noticed, everything in the world that God has created, it has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Everything has an assignment. Everything has a reason for being. There is nothing in our universe that was created for nothing. And so I have found that when I am specific about what I'm going to do with the money's going to go to pay off this. The money's going to pay to help me save this. The money is going to help me to pay for this for my son. The money's going to help me get my car. The money's going to help me pay off debt. Whatever it is, I've been very, very specific. And although I don't always control the how, the way that it comes in those amounts. So the fourth thing is very similar to what I was saying, was that God always wants our money to have an assignment and a purpose. I have just noticed that in life. I've listened to stories about people who manifest money. I've listened to so many people because it's been one of my manifestation goals, is that I wanted to be extremely, and I still do, extremely wealthy, extremely abundant, but I know what I now want the money to do. So I've listened to people like Amanda Francis. I love her book. She's been one of my coaches throughout my entrepreneurship career. And she even talks about the story of basically telling God, if you help me become a millionaire, I'm going to help other women become millionaires. If you help me become good with money, I'm going to help other women become good with money. Which brings me to my next point, right? Is that money loves to be of service. I truly believe, and this is from my manifestation paradigm and how it's worked for me. So I'm talking about my personal experience as well as other people that I know, is that money loves to be of service. So oftentimes when we have our money goals, are they anchored into a strong why and how you are going to give and be of service to other people? How are you going to make this money keep rotating and circulating so that it benefits other people? I have found when I am very clear about how I'm going to put it to service, who I'm going to serve with this money, how I'm going to serve with it, that money comes in. And the last thing that I want to say, because I want to keep this one brief, and if you guys want to know more and more about money manifestation, let me know, because I'll start doing even more videos, because I've got a lot of experience in this area, is that I believe that 5D, known to me as God, wants you to be specific so that you know that it was from God, right? So if you just say, hey, I just want any car, and then your uncle ends up giving you a car or something like that, you're like, how did that come in? But if you're very specific and you're like praying and saying, I'm going to manifest, I'm going to co-create, I want this, and I want to use this car to do this. I want to be able to get my son back and forth to work. I want a bigger car because my son needs bigger room. All of these things went into manifesting my recent vehicle. So some of you guys know that I manifested a Mercedes recently, third Mercedes. Anyway, the whole point is that I was very, very specific. So I know that God helped me co-create this manifestation. I believe that God wants the glory, wants the honor, wants to be part of the co-creation process. So that involves us being intentional and being specific with our manifestations. So I know that this is helpful, because this is the information that I wish I had 5, 10, 20 years ago when I began my manifestation journey. So let me know how it resonates. Get your comments and thoughts below. Make sure you're subscribed and like this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.